I was trying to find the lens. There it is. It's over there. That's the trouble doing it with the phone. I'm never sure where I am. Well, I don't know what's going on. I've got like a pain in my jaw that I've had all weekend, and I've just sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. I had a sore throat on Friday, so I had to cancel a gig, which was really annoying. It was very cold anyway. Pardon me. So I'm going to work tomorrow. So I'd better be better by then, I think. My hair's all over the place, isn't it? I don't know what's up. It's very. Anyway, I thought, oh, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to talk. My jaw is, I think, hello, Philip. I think my jaw is sort of out of alignment. Or I've got a wisdom tooth. I've maybe got sympathy pains. My flatmate has just had oral surgery. He had a wisdom tooth removed, so he's just been eating mashed bananas all the last few days. And then my wisdom tooth started to hurt, so it's like pregnancy and sympathy pains, only like surgery with the maybe it's not that, probably it's just painful, and yeah, and so my throat is also a little bit sore. So I'm all at sea. All at sea, is that the right thing? I'm all a little bit yeah. But it's December. I can't believe it's December. It is nearly Christmas. I love Christmas. I'm not a religious person. That's not the reason I love Christmas. I just like it. I don't know. There's something about spooky December. It's just the start of the new year and the end of the old year, and presents. And I don't usually get amazing presents. No, not that, not I'm dissing the presents I get. They're great. But I like giving presents. That's what I like more than getting them, really, which is, I don't know whether that's usual. I like getting presents for people, and I like them to like the presents. I don't like to not like the presents. If I got the presents, hello. If I got the presents and they didn't like the presents, I would be very upset. But so, hello, Justin, and how Philip Story. I've never really known how to pronounce you. Anyway, Philip, yeah, it's pronounced. Is it pronounced Story? I've known you for years. I don't know. That's something that you don't ask people how do you pronounce your name. Somebody's gone. I've driven you away. There was two people, but Laurie, Story. That's all right because that's how it's spelt. So it's not Story. Story is a good name if you want to ever go into storytelling, though, isn't it? Yeah. So that's good. I think two of you still are here. Am I wrong? Am I right? Have I driven people away in the Philip lorry? Yes. Anyway, I've gone around this. I don't know what to say apart from having a sore jaw. It's actually, maybe talking is making it better because it's not hurting now. Every time I try to eat something or drink something, it's like, ow! But talking, obviously, oh, so it's just not showing up as having two people. Interesting. I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. Pardon me. It's just bizarre. I don't know. But, yeah, new things, old things. I don't know what's going on with YouTube at all. Yeah, somebody asked me whether subscribers were interesting. It's not hurting now. It's just hurting when I try to eat, or it's just when I try to move my. If I put anything in my mouth, it hurts. So I better not put anything in my mouth. That's simple, isn't it? Anyway, so it could be something nasty, but I think it's just because I've got wisdom teeth. Every now and then they cut through a little bit more. They're taking their time, a little tiny bit more, and they're very sharp. So I was like feeling, I think it's just that this wisdom tooth is just deciding to come out a little bit more, and it's very, very sharp, and it's in a little bit of a. I've got quite a narrow jaw in that bit, I think, so that's probably what it is. Lovely. That's a appetizing conversation, isn't it? Uh, but I thought it might be because I've got a cold and I had like a sore throat. So I don't know whether that was linked. Maybe it's all the same thing. I don't know whether I've got a sore jaw because of a sore throat, or a sore throat because I've got a sore jaw. Who knows or dares to think? Anyway, what's been going on with everyone? It's just like in the UK. Some of you are in the UK. We've got an election coming up. Who knows what's going to happen with that? It's all a little bit like worrying. I think that's the word. And just before Christmas too, it's going to ruin Christmas for everyone. For everyone. So great. So I don't know what's happening in the world. It's all a bit stupid. But just Finn, who is in this live chat at the moment, told me about a video about I did say about it last week about Garndiffer, and there's like a load of standing stones and burial mounds and something. So I've been looking on Google Earth today to see whether I can find out more about that and other things in the area. And there's quite a lot of interesting not architecture, what's the word? Archaeological stuff when you're looking on Google Earth. Yeah, there's quite a lot of interesting things on the top of the mountain. So I'm going to look into that when I go home at Christmas. When I say home, Garndiffer isn't. I've never lived in Garndiffer, but it's where my father comes from, so it's sort of home. It's near where I live. So I'm going to have a look at that if I can work out where it is. But my dad will be guiding me around going, this is where I was when I used to go on walks here. And hopefully, oops, this is very shaky. I've got my hand on there. So hopefully he can tell me where, oh, my thumb again, where to go with that. And so that will be fun. And hopefully I won't get lost and it won't be too cold on the top of the mountain. Yeah, there is a local library. There's also a local museum that's got all old maps and stuff. So that's quite interesting because although in the video that I was pointed to, there was the whole thing about the mystical signs. I'm not going to take that too seriously, but I have noticed that the roundabout that yes, exactly, I will. I've used to work for the museum, so they will hopefully be helpful to me. And yeah, they've got all the Ordnance Survey maps and stuff like that, and local history because that's their specialty. So that'll be fun, and I can go and ask them. They used to have a librarian called Pat when I worked there. A librarian called Pat that knew everything, and she used to just go upstairs, and it was apparently a haunted. Like there's a lot of ghosts in, if you believe that sort of thing. And so maybe she was a ghost. I don't know. I don't think she works there anymore. It was quite a long time ago, but she was very helpful and she was very seriously minded. She had short grey hair and she was very, very posh. And I said something once about wanting to be a librarian. She's like, oh, yes, very, very. Anyway, she was posh. I don't think she works there anymore. I don't know whether they've got anybody who works in. Maybe they don't have the library anymore. Maybe I'm just remembering the past and thinking it's going to be the same. But as Google Maps and Google Earth have shown, I was looking at over the last 10, 15, 20 years and things have changed. It's like I was like looking at 2001 in the place where this where the little roundabout and the supposed pyramid burial mound thing that's buried, and looking at that area over the last 20 years and going, oh yes, there's a lot of rocks there. That looks like a burial. Oh no, because now there's houses all over where there might have been a few tumps and burial mounds. Not there anymore. They're underneath the houses. So that's a poltergeist situation waiting to happen. I don't think anybody's got any swimming pools, which is probably just as well. So they built it on a burial ground, not an Indian burial ground, a Welsh burial ground. It's even worse. The Welsh people will come up and eat your souls, and then you'll be sucked through the television. That's how it works. So yeah, fun. So I'm going to do that when I go home and other things as well. So I didn't do a video apart from this one this week because I was feeling sick and bad in bed. So as they say in English, bad in bed under the doctor. They don't say that. They might say that. Anyway, so I wasn't under the doctor at all. I was just not feeling very well. Mostly because of my jaw, partly because I got a bit of a sore throat. As I said, keep going on about it. This is very much like if there's politicians like the Boris Johnson. I watched his interview, which basically was just him filibustering for 25 minutes, blah, 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 blah. And basically what I'm doing is burbling. So maybe I've got more in common with Boris Johnson than I would like to think I have. I just burble and talk absolute nonsense and keep going on about the same thing over and over again. Oh no. Did anyone hear the sonic boom last night? I didn't. Good story, Elise. Yeah, good story. Apparently, yeah, everybody's making jokes about OK Boomer and stuff like that. So, they're so funny. I don't get that because I don't actually. My parents aren't baby boomers, and I'm not a baby boomer because we're sort of in the same way that very few of my relatives fought in either war because they were either too young or too old. I've got that sort of the way that my family works, we're either too young or too old for absolutely everything. So anything that's happened, like my mum's like, oh, I wish I was a hippie, but I was too old. It's like, yeah, and people, oh, I didn't fight in that war because I was too young or too old or whatever. And everything that's happened in the last, since I was born, years, many years, it's either happened after I was there or before I was there. There's nothing. Very bad timing, my life. Or very good timing. I suppose missing the world wars and stuff is good timing, really. And obviously, not being a baby boomer is probably good timing because they're getting a lot of stick lately, aren't they? I think that some of my aunties and uncles might be baby boomers, but yeah, exactly. It's boundaries. It's like I know a lot of millennials, Liza Minnelli's. I know a load of Liza Minnelli's all over the day. The thing is, right, when I was growing up, I was too young for Generation X, and then they changed it. So I think, I suppose I am Generation X, which is weird because when Generation X was, everyone was talking about it, it was like that had already gone. So now I'm like, that's what? So I'm a very bit confused. It's like everything had gone by the time I got to it. Or it was, I mean, I think they define it afterwards or something. So I think they thought it was over, but it wasn't, or something. They extended it because I've read about different things. It's like Generation X and Generation Y and the millennials are all crossing over and they're the same thing basically. Really, it's a load of rubbish anyway. Let's be honest, demographic information is ridiculous and stupid. But every single thing that happened in the history of histories, I've missed it, basically, because I'm either too young or too old. I've got a lot in common with the millennials in exactly, it's all the things that millennials are interested in, and the generation after that, like the really young people, like the teenagers. It's like stuff that I'm interested in, but I'm not them. I can't, I'll just be embarrassing if I tried to be them, obviously. And I've also got a lot in common with people that are in their like 90s, and so really old people and really young people. I don't really fit in with the people that are my actual age for some reason, but I never have ever. I don't know why. I'm a bit of an outsider, except if I find other groups, I can sort of fit in there quite easily and feel quite comfortable. But the people that are supposedly my people of whatever sort are just like, I don't think so. I really don't think so. So it's one of those things, I suppose. So what's everybody up to for Christmas? Fun Christmas times, eh? Are you going to have lovely Christmas dinner and stuff like that? Yum, 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 yum. Oh, talking about food, I made yesterday because I'm not cooking for anybody, I'm just cooking for myself. I made a gluten-free barbecue jackfruit pizza with vegan cheese, and that sounds like it's horrible, doesn't it? But it wasn't. It was so yummy. It was so yummy. I got barbecue jackfruit out of a can, and I mashed it all over the gluten-free pizza base, and then just grated the vegan cheese on top and stuck it in the oven. So it wasn't even hard. It was easy. Not you, too. I don't know what I'm having for Christmas dinner, because I'm usually vegetarian, but I waver. So, but we don't usually have like turkey and everything anyway. I mean, a few times I've had like nut roast or things like that, or sort of corny based stuff. I've never had corn based stuff. I don't think I've had that. I've just had basically the stuffing, which is basically the same thing as a nut roast. Just eat the stuffing. Gluten-free vegan stuffing. Yum! But as I said, I'm not actually a vegan, so I'm a flexitarian, I suppose. I'm just like, what can I get away with eating today that's not going to make me sick? A tarian. That's what I am. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm having for Christmas dinner. My mum usually gets like loads of things, and I see Christmas, 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 Christmas. Yeah, lots of Christmas. Christmas at home, nothing special. Nothing. Well, yeah, but it's always special because it's Christmas. Yeah, I've been watching the last but one. No, the last. Yeah, the last but one series of Legends of Tomorrow. Has anybody watched that? It was recommended to me when I was in Edinburgh. Somebody, the people I was staying with recommended it. I'm like, because I'd seen the first series and I was like, nah, it's a bit po-faced for me. Hawk Girl and Hawk Boy were a little bit like, oh, we're very serious, furious-minded. And it was a bit like, yeah. And even though I like Rory, not the character Rory in Legends of Tomorrow is fine, but Rory from Doctor Who, his character, who's like Dr. Rip Torn, Rip something. Anyway, it's a very boring character. So although I really like him as a person and as an actor, I don't think he's a very good character. So he's sort of not in the third series so much. So yeah. So that's quite fun and exciting. That's really good. So watch that. So they've just, whoa, why was I saying that? Oh yeah, they just had a Christmas episode which was set in Viking times, and there was like an evil toy, not an evil toy, just a toy that got mistaken for a god. That was quite fun. So I don't know whether that's a spoiler when it's 2 seasons ago, but if you haven't seen it, it is. Anyway, that's not, because I probably was going somewhere with that. I can't remember where I was. Anyway, that was a Christmas special. So I'm watching lots of Christmas specials of TV. There is a point in that. I'm just turning into Boris Johnson again, aren't I? Wobble, 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 wobble. Just going to say what I want to say, even though it's got nothing to do with anything. Don't interrupt me. I'm going to answer the question. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say anything that's of any relevance. He's a bit of a character. He's a bit of a character means he's a bit weird. Let's just humour him, basically. He's a bit of a character, isn't he? He's got a bit of an off-key sense of humour, and nobody really likes him, but we put up with him. He's a bit of a character. Is basically what that means. It's like, yes. He's eccentric in the interesting way. The Great British Eccentric. Loud, well, sometimes loud. It can be, it's just a bit odd and a bit out of place. Yeah, that's a bit of a character. It's like, exactly. He's a bit of a character. He's a joker. He's a let's not go anywhere near him. Yeah, English eccentrics. They were very popular back in the day. They've sort of gone out of favour, really. English eccentrics. They're usually bits of characters, but I mean, since then, I mean, people have been. I suppose you have to be quite rich to be an eccentric, because if you're not a rich eccentric, then you're just a bit of a, like, people go, oh, I'm not going to go near them, they're a bit odd. But if you're rich, then you're an eccentric. But they're very popular. They're good eccentrics, like Quentin Crisp, and who else is a good eccentric? Brian Sewell, he was a good eccentric, and Maggie, what's her name? Yeah, a lot of art critics were eccentrics. I don't know why I'm saying that. Oh yeah, because they were a bit of a character, but they were good bits of character. They were characters that you'd be like, hey, he's a bit of a character, but I like that. Exactly, Philip, exactly. I didn't want to go down that road, but that is true. So yeah, eccentric is a very wealth-based thing. He's a bit of a character. It's just in all ages, all genders, all classes. Yeah, you just say that if you just did. Yeah, you're like, yeah, you don't really like them, but you don't want to say it. Bit of a character. That's what that is. So this is holding up. 18 minutes. It's not quite yet right there. The class system in personality. Yeah, the class system. The class system is basically, if you're rich, you can get away with anything, and if you're not, you can't. Really. That's really sad. See, there shouldn't be a class system anymore, but there is basically. It's like, are you very well educated and rich? Yes, you get everything. Are you not? Then go away, you don't get anything. Yes, it does buy a lot of understanding, and a lot of people thinking that you're clever when you're not. Really, when you start looking at Boris Johnson, who says some very stupid things, but you go, whoa, he's rich, he must know what he's talking about. Yeah, of course he is. And obviously Jacob Rees-Mogg, who has a reputation for being, Boris is a character, yes, Jacob Rees-Mogg is an archetypal character, and he's also, everyone goes, oh, he's so clever, he must be clever. Why would somebody, unless somebody's that clever, why would they be that stupid? He must be amazingly clever to get away with all the idiot things that he says, because, you know, he must be, because he's in a position of power, and yet he's saying these ridiculous things, and he's just knows nothing. He's completely ignorant. So he must be so clever that the likes of us don't understand how clever he is. He must be an absolute genius. And possibly that's how, yeah, maybe he is a genius at being stupid. Yes, yeah, exactly. Big word, small brain. Yeah, he doesn't seem to know how to use the right words. Anyway, so I'm not going to give any examples because I can't think of them offhand, but there's a few times he said a word, it's like, I don't think he actually knows what that means, and he can't pronounce it either, and you look it up, it's like, no, he doesn't know what he's doing, really. But people that are a little bit, people that look up to the class, that thing is like, I am middle class and I look up to him because he is upper class. We all look down to the. It's like people that are in the middle classes that might have a bit of a chip on their shoulder or want to be of the upper classes, even now, are like, oh, well, we will be deferential towards our betters. They're not better than you. They're just richer than you. It's not the same thing. I'm sorry, it's not the same thing. It just means that they have more money. And money is meaninless. Except it can buy you a lot, obviously. It's very good, but, especially in this day and age, it's just how many numbers have you got on not even on a piece of paper. You just like looking at a bank account and go, there's loads of numbers. Obviously, they can get you a lot of things, but it's just take one tiny glitch in the system and it's all down. You've got none of those numbers at your look at It's a Wonderful Life, back to Christmas movies. There was a bank run, everybody wants their money, they can't have it, the bank's closed, there's nothing there, not really in the bank. So is money just dead? It is. Money is just ridiculous. It's not backed up by anything anymore, and even if it was backed up by gold and silver, what on earth are gold and silver? They're just things. They're just lumps of metal. Lumps of metal that don't inherently have any value at all. You can make things out of them, yes. So they're slightly better than pieces of paper that you can basically you can make some origami out of paper. So that's quite useful, I suppose, if you want to make like a little dove or a swan or something to amuse people. Or, yeah, like the little foil unicorn in Blade Runner, if you want to do that, maybe. But gold and silver are very pretty, and if you've got the right equipment, you can make them into things. But really, inherently, there isn't anything really that's got any value. Food. So if we had a food-based system, whereas like you could swap food for other food, then that would be like something useful, like warm clothes and food, and what else is useful? Fuel. So they're the things that are actually inherently are useful and valuable, things that you can do things with that will improve your quality of life. But money in itself doesn't mean anything. And even if it's backed by something that also doesn't really mean anything. I mean, you look at the people sail to the New World and they saw loads of gold. It's like, oh, there's gold everywhere. It's like gold. Well, it's very pretty, but it wasn't being used for a practical purpose. So, it was just, for the gods. Sorry, just missing what people are saying now. It's all gone. That's the trouble. It doesn't stay on the screen for very long. So if I'm missing your comments, I'm very sorry. I can't see them once they're disappeared. So yeah, money, not backed by anything, and also not really a real thing. And it is just debt these days, isn't it? It's just, especially since most people, I know for the most of my working life, certainly when I was working in the 2000s, we can write off debt. In the 2000s, I was never in credit, ever. I was completely always using my overdraft to buy things. So I would get some money, it would immediately go to rent, and then I would buy fun stuff and some food, and it would go down. So for a couple of days a month, I might be like £20 in credit if I was lucky, but for most of it, I was never in credit. So I sort of I cut back towards the end of my working life so that I would not be in debt. And then as soon as I wasn't in debt, I'm like, well, there's no point doing this job anymore. So I haven't got much of an income anymore, but I haven't got a debt anymore, and I do that by not spending any money, basically, ever. I, I travel, food, rent. That's it. I don't buy clothes. This is why I'm falling apart, really. This is, somebody gave me this. This I bought. It says it's Virgin Megastore from Vancouver. This is a long time ago I bought this. I went to Vancouver. I spent literally all of my money on going to Vancouver once because I wanted to interview the people from Stargate, and it all fell through because I didn't really plan it. I had connections. I actually did meet some of the people from Stargate, and I had lunch with them. They bought me drinks, but they didn't want to be interviewed, and it all went a bit wrong. And I tried to interview Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor in, this is me being Boris Johnson again, it's going off a bit, Lex Luthor in Smallville. And but I saw him in a hockey match, and I did interview him, but I interviewed him in London a couple of weeks later. So I spent all my money to get to Vancouver for my job. I thought this was a good thing because I could interview because I was working for a TV magazine. And I got into trouble with my job because they're like, you took time off and you shouldn't have done, and you should have, even though it was I was entitled to holiday, even though I spent all my money, and it was basically so that I could do a working holiday that did go a bit wrong. Even though that, they're like, well, you should have stayed in work and done the work in work. It's like, but I booked this holiday in advance, but then somebody got sick. Anyway, my point is, this is a while ago because Virgin Megastore I don't think exists anymore. Certainly not in Vancouver. So I bought this. I've still got this. Didn't wear it very much, so it's still good. Yeah. So my Virgin Megastore t-shirt is probably the last thing that I ever bought in ages ago. Ages and ages ago. That was probably 2003? 4? When was Smallville on? Long time ago. Anyway, so this is how I'm not in debt. By using the things that I bought when I was in debt, I spent a lot of money and still using them, even though they've mostly got moth holes in them now. Fortunately, I've disposed of most of the moths, so maybe there won't be any more moth holes in anything, and I can sew them up or something and carry on wearing them when the apocalypse comes, when the inevitable happens, when we're all very much next year in poverty, because whatever's going to happen, I can't see it working out very well. Maybe look on the positive side. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know what's going to happen though. I've got a lot of still packet soups. Oh, by the way, it's best before still, because I had some I bought some soy yogurt ages ago, and the best before was the 15th of October, and it was still sealed, and I just ate some. I opened it, and it didn't smell bad, and it wasn't mouldy, but I'm a little bit worried that maybe that's going to have some bad effects. So I'm eating expired food at the moment, so wish me luck. This is probably why I've got sore throats and my jaw feels like it's falling off, thinking about it. Yeah, I should probably look after myself better. I'm going blurry. Yeah, I'm going blurry because I've just eaten expired food. Maybe I should go now. I will go now, because if I'm going blurry, there's probably something going wrong with my phone. It's been acting up lately, but it's been more or less all right today, so I don't want to push my luck. So I will see you again very shortly. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Watch all my videos. Diacalm with my jaw. I don't know what's going to help. I'm just going to be Diacalm for if I've eaten the expired jaw. I don't even know what's happening anymore. I'm just blurry. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.